just had a very frank conversation with the Senate and House Democratic leadership. Look, the principle at stake here is very simple. We have disagreements about tax policy, but you don't shut that government down. We have disagreements about health care policy, but you don't shut the government down. You don't use your policy disagreements as leverage to not pay our troops, to not have essential services of government actually function. You don't say the fact that you disagree about a particular tax provision is an excuse for shutting down the people's government and all the essential services that come along with it. So I think we're headed into a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing. I hope they change their mind, but we're going to see. I'll let the speaker say a few words.
If the Democrats make the decision to shut the government down, the consequences are on them, and I think it's absolutely tragic. We've never said that was a good idea. We never believed it is. And I want you to remember, when we voted in the House, we passed it out of the House. The House has done its job. We did that almost 2 weeks ago. Every Democrat in the House except one voted to shut the government down. That is the record. And don't forget it.
This is purely and simply hostage taking on behalf of the Democrats. The Republicans are united. House Republicans, Senate Republicans, President Trump. The House has passed a clean funding resolution to fund the government until November the 21st. It's clean, it is bipartisan, and it is short term. But it gives us enough time to finish the appropriations process, which is the way we should be funding the government. So Republicans in the House, the Senate, the President united, they passed the bill. This is sitting right now at the Senate desk. We could pick it up and pass it tonight. We could pick it up and pass it tomorrow before the government shuts down. And then we don't have a government shutdown. It is totally up to the Democrats because right now they are the only thing standing between the American people and the government shutting down. So we're willing to sit down and work with them on some of the issues they want to talk about, whether it's the extension of premium tax credits with reforms. We're happy to have that conversation. But as of right now, this is a hijacking of the American people, and it's the American people who are going to pay the price.
Yes.
Now that you've presented these issues directly to the president, would you propose or would you support a 7 to 10 day CR?
No.
So there's more time.
No, we have to do it now. The time is a wasting. We have to do it now. We've delayed and delayed and delayed. As I said, as Martin Luther King once said, later means never. They don't want to do this, the Republican leaders, because they're right-wing. It'll divide their party. Their right-wing hates ACA altogether. But we have to get it done. And the president, the way to do this is the president, who is really listening to us, tells the Republicans to do it.
House Democrats are here. Senate Democrats are here. The Senate is ready to act. House Republicans cancel votes. They're on vacation right now, all across the country, and some are spread out across the world. They're not serious about actually reaching a bipartisan agreement that meets the needs of the American people. If House Republicans were serious, they'd be here right now. And there was no explanation in that meeting from the Speaker of the House of Representatives as to how possibly votes could be canceled.
We've had, since March, we've had 45 days and 45 days and 45 days and 45 days. We asked to meet earlier, they didn't want to. So we think when they say later, they mean never. We have to do it now, first because of the timing issue, and second, because now is the time we can get it done.
On the policy front with ACA, Leader Thune has said the only way these will get extended is if there are new reforms and restrictions on where that money can go. Is that an acceptable premise?
We said to him, renew it so that people aren't hurt, and then we can discuss whatever reforms you want. But you got to renew it now. Some of the Republican leaders said, let's wait till January or late December. You hit the reason. They can't. On October 1st, they get these notices, and many of them by November have to make a decision whether to change their health care. If you're a person, a middle-class person, and you're going to hear that your premiums are going to go up $400 a month, that's the average in the country, $5,000 a year, you may say, either I can't afford health care and drop it, or more likely take a less generous plan where you pay much more for co-payments, deductibles, and everything else. So you can't wait till January. You have to do that now. And when we talked to him about the other issues, he was not aware that Americans would pay, so many Americans, tens of millions of Americans, would pay huge increases in their health care, bills because of the ACA expiring in December, and he was not aware that the real effect of that starts October 1st, not December 31st. So it seemed from his body language and some of the things he said that he was not aware of the ramifications of the treatise, the bad implications on health care for Americans, nor the argument about rescissions. Because their view is, take this partisan bill. They call it a clean bill. Clean equals partisan. And I reminded the Republican leaders, that when we were in the majority, we always negotiated these bills. And that's why there were no shutdowns in the 4 years I was majority leader. We negotiated the bills. Each side got something. They had some input. We've had no input. Leader Jeffries had no input from Johnson. I had no input from Thune.
But frankly, the entire team's approach during the conversation we just had with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries was, they have some crazy ideas. Giving taxpayer money to illegal aliens for health care, that's a crazy idea. Funding transgender surgeries in Peru, that's a crazy idea. But they had some ideas that I actually thought were reasonable, and they had some ideas that the president thought was reasonable. What's not reasonable is to hold those ideas as leverage and to shut down the government unless we give you everything that you want. There were multiple times where Leader Jeffries or Leader Schumer would say, you know what, we should be doing this, and the President of the United States would say, yeah, absolutely, let's have that conversation, but we're going to do it in the context of the people's government being open.
This is very important on health care. Their counterproposal, what Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are demanding, is that they claw back the $50 billion that we put into the rural hospital support structure. They want to take that back. We're not going to do that. We passed that because we have to allow for that. Also, if they shut the government down, not only are troops unpaid, federal workers, and all the services that everybody relies upon, but the WIC program, the nutrition program, women, infant, and children, they will not get that program, will not be funded. FEMA won't be funded. We have hurricanes off the coast of the United States right now. This is serious business.